Alright, so this is the Prismacolor demo part 1, and today we're going to be practicing how to blend with Prismacolors. So before we actually start working on my sample, we're going to look at a good example of what to avoid. So what we mostly want to avoid is no color blending. And what I mean by that is I just don't want to see one solid color of a shape. I want to see a gradient between two colors, and we don't want this end up looking like a puzzle piece. And also, notice how there are pencil marks within some of these shapes. We also want to avoid that. This example uses a great use of color, but we just aren't pushing ourselves to blend. We want to take advantage that Prismacolors are great for those details and amazing for blending. And with the first circle, we're going to be working with color harmony. And what I mean by that is that we're going to be working with colors that are right next to each other on the color wheel. I'll be using different shades of blues and greens. And this is harmonious to the eye since the colors are right next to each other on the color wheel. And while I'm working, you'll see me use this colorless blending pencil. You guys will also have this pencil next to you, and you'll see me use it to help you understand how it works. Okay, so as I start the demo, I want you guys to notice the darks that I push at the end of the shape. And as I work through the shape, I end up going lighter. So as you can see right here, the further I go, I'm barely adding any pressure to the paper with my pencil, and I want you guys to really practice this. This is very important. And I do this because within the dark areas, I know that I won't be adding more colors on top of that, but with the light areas, I want to be able to add more layers and make a smoother transition. And then you'll also see me do this motion with the pencil. This is how I recommend you to motion your pencil as you work with Prismacolors, lifting up your pencil every time. And you'll see me work faster just because I'm more comfortable with this medium. But as you guys work, I want you guys to really go slow and be patient. And then again, you're gonna see me pick up a new color, working at the other end, pushing in those darks, but as I work through the color, you're gonna notice me go lighter. And again, I want to remind you guys to really take your time on this. This is all about patience, but patience also takes practice. And now I went further into the video just so you guys could see more of the blending of the two colors. And while I'm using this pencil, I want you guys to take note of the flat part of the pencil. We want to use the flat part because it's easier to blend and it causes a smooth transition. Whenever you use the really pointy part of the pencil, it causes harsh lines and really deep color that makes it really hard to blend. And this is a reminder to make this movement while working. Eventually, you'll be able to move your pencil like this without even thinking. And for other projects, you can also use the same movement with different mediums, so it's also a really good habit to have. And now I am using the colorless blending pencil, and as you can see, I am burnishing the color pencil layers to make it look smooth and soft. I am adding pressure with my pencil to push the pigment into the paper. And you could see with time that it becomes darker and richer. So blending pencils are useful because it doesn't add more color on top. It's a pencil full of wax and fat. So we have these pencils because we want Prismacolors to last longer. Notice how you can't even tell that I'm using the blending pencil because all it's meant for is to make it look smooth and to help with blending. Another cool thing about the blending pencil is that you can add layers on top of it. So if you need to make it darker or add a color, you totally can. Another tip while you guys are working is to go back and forth with the Prismacolors that you're using. This helps with making a smooth transition. And here's the end product of our first shape. And now we are starting a new shape. Again, we're gonna push those darks at first, but eventually we'll end up going light. And this is also a good moment to notice how different the what to avoid is compared to the shape that we made in the color harmony. And now I'm doing a time lapse while I work on the shape just so then I could tell you guys the major tips to remember. Whenever you get to this point of the shape, remember to keep things light. You do not want to be pushing that pencil hard on the paper, and you also want to use the flat and dull side of the pencil. This helps with getting the most coverage with the pencil to the paper and with a smooth transition. And whenever we get to this point of the shape where the two colors meet, it is really important for us to go really light. And you also will see me switch the pencils from orange to red throughout this time. You want to do this too because it helps with layering and mixing the colors. So I'm basically done with the shading, but I do see some harsh shading in the middle, so I'll be going back with the orange to try to fix that. And now I want to show you guys that you don't have to place your two colors at two ends of the shape. You could place it right in the middle like how I'm doing right now with the yellow. And just remember that the same rules apply. Whenever you do darks, that means that you won't be adding another color on top of that, and to also go really light as you move further away from those darks. And you'll see me right here really emphasize that motion again, even though I'm not going perfectly straight, I'm still picking up my pencil every time I make a line. I would like to mention that I work best moving the paper around, so I would recommend giving it a try or doing so if it works for you. I keep this paper still so then you guys are able to see during the demo. And here's the last part of the video. So I recommend trying this out whenever you are finally comfortable with the Prismacolors or you want to try something new. You can try using more than two colors. And my biggest tip when working with this type of blending is to go back and forth between the two colors.